In the town of Stillwake, there was a street that appeared only when someone had finished running from themselves. No map showed it. No one agreed where it began. But on certain evenings, when the air cooled and the lamps hummed instead of flickered, a person might turn a corner they'd turned 100 times before and find a narrow road paved with pale stone, stretching quietly between two familiar buildings that suddenly seemed older than memory. Lena found the street after a long day of choosing the wrong words. She had spent years being careful with promises, careful with affection, careful not to say the thing that would make staying or leaving irreversible. That evening, she walked without destination, her coat unbuttoned, her thoughts loud enough to feel like weather. When she looked up, the street was there. The stones were warm beneath her shoes. Windows along the road glowed softly, though none showed faces. Instead, each window held a moment, a laugh she hadn't allowed herself to finish, a letter she'd never sent, a morning she'd almost been brave. The moments didn't accuse her. They simply existed, patient as photographs drying in a darkroom. Halfway down the street sat a small bench, and an old man feeding crumbs to birds that did not land. He nodded as if he'd been expecting her. "This road doesn't judge," he said. "It listens." Lena Saturday. The silence pressed gently, the way deep water does when it teaches you where your breath truly is. She realized the street hadn't appeared because she was lost, but because she had stopped pretending she wasn't. At the far end stood a single door, painted the color of early morning. It wasn't locked. It never was. Opening it wouldn't fix her life or grant sudden clarity. It would only let her carry forward what she already knew. She stood, heart steady now, and walked the rest of the way. When Lena turned the handle, the street behind her faded, folding itself back into the ordinary city. She stepped through the door into night air that smelled like rain and beginnings. Stillwake looked the same as ever, crooked signs, humming lamps, distant voices, but something in her stride had changed. The street would return someday, for someone else. It always did. It appeared whenever a person was finally ready to stop running and start choosing.